Ladies, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Please be advised that this movie has no nudity.
I'm out.
Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
Yeah.
I just have to wee-wee.
And we're back. Just like the Five Musketeers.
What the hell am I looking at?
A country where culture means pornography and slasher films.
If you had these boobs, you'd be obsessed with them too.
Very exciting, big event. Everybody's excited, huh?
We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends.
We're Cinemadness podcast.
Try to do parodies of Christmas songs with Buckaroo Banzai.
Diggity dog, he honk, he honk. It's Buckaroo the Banzai.
Like a tree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Come, ye merry Dr. Buckaroo, who is a surgeon man, and he supplements his income by rocking with his band. Oh, yeah. And then there's some shit, and it kind of gets a little complicated. You probably need to just shut up and watch it. Oh, Buckaroo Banzai is here. Banzai is here. Buckaroo is Banzai is here. Doom. Doom, doom, doom. There is this mountain.
It keeps going.
Oh, yeah.
There's a verse too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And on the other side, Jeff Goldblum does his best Goldblum and goes, hey, wait, is your ride? Huh?
And on that note, welcome to the Cinemadness podcast. My name is Adam. I'm here with, obviously, Roman.
Hey!
And also with Allison.
Howdy.
Well, happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Buckaroo Banzai.
You don't need to say anything.
Sorry, it was a moment. Happy holidays to you, Adam, and Merry Christmas, of course.
Merry
to you.
Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah?
Yes.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, they light it up.
This isn't even going to come out until like New Year's.
No, it's coming out on Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's our present to our listeners.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what?
And just like a good deadbeat dad, it's not a very good one.
They're going to want to return it.
Yeah.
Exact. Oh, great.
So what better way to celebrate the magical holidays than with the magical holiday-less movie, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, Across the Eighth Dimension. One of my favorites. How about you?
I had never seen this movie.
I'm really happy that you're happy.
Had you seen this movie?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have to watch it again?
See, I told you he wasn't going to be into it.
I rewatched it just so I can be a part of it.
Oh, okay.
Look, one of the reasons why you guys had me on the show is I am basically, the Siskel to your guys' Ebert. I am, the Lennon to your guys' McCartney.
It's true.
It's just...
But you don't know I might side with you tonight?
Well, then you'll be my Harrison.
To your Ford?
Yeah. No, so it's just, I am willing to lend my counter opinion to everything, but at the end of the day, I can see why it's a great cult classic, and some of the things that I found out when prepping for this is pretty shocking, like $12 million budget.
Shocking.
Yes. And how well it was shot for what it was. There were some really awesome shots in there. But anyways.
Well, the cinematographer was the guy from Blade Runner.
Yeah, and yes. And, of course, who isn't a fan of Jeff Goldblum? I mean...
I'm not a fan of Jeff Goldblum now.
He wasn't full Goldblum.
He's too Goldblum now.
He wasn't full Goldblum at that point. He was speaking
That's hard to
complete
say,
sentences.
full Goldblum.
No, he was speaking in complete sentences. This was right around that same time.
I think that's what he's saying. He's agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm not used to that.
I know.
Yeah. Now Jeff Goldblum is just a caricature of himself.
Yes. Pretty much. He wasn't that bad in Hotel Artemis.
No, he wasn't. He was pretty good.
He kind of almost reverted to the Fly Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, top tier Goldblum.
It really is. But we're not talking about Jeff Goldblum. We're
not talking about strictly dead Jeff Goldblum. We're talking about a movie Jeff Goldblum was in. And that is The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. And that's how I'm going to refer to the movie the whole time. Because that's the title. It came out in 1984. The movie was directed by W.D. Richter, This was his only big movie.
Richter.
Barely know her. He wrote screenplays more than he directed. Well, he only directed this movie, and he wrote some good screenplays. He did the 1979 Dracula. He wrote the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Mm-hmm. He did Needful Things, and just for this week, he did Home for the Holidays.
Well, no.
What's Home for the Holidays?
I don't know. It's a Christmas movie. I've never seen it. I don't even know what it is. If you know me, you know I don't care about Christmas.
I'm gonna look it up while you talk because it might be something up my alley.
I think it has to do with returning home for a holiday season like Christmas.
I think so too.
I think
the movie stars, of course, Peter Weller and John Lithgow, Ellen Barkin, Jeff Goldblum's in this movie. I didn't realize it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Christopher Lloyd, Clancy Brown, and a bunch of other that's that guy actors in the movie. It also has Yakov Smirnoff playing a character, a national security advisor named Agent Yakov. Let's go over the taglines.
Taglines.
Yep. So this movie has 4 taglines.
I can't wait to hear these.
First tagline: beings from another dimension have invaded your world.
Beans like baked beans?
No, beans like human beings.
I really hope I'm not. You can hear this, right? Where it's like my voice sounds funny. Okay.
Nope.
Beings.
Yeah. Now, can you do me a favor when you do the taglines? Do it nice and sexy, like
okay.
beings from another.
That's a hard word to say.
You can't see them, but they can see you.
Ooh.
Huh.
That's a weird tagline for that movie.
Yeah, isn't that
I mean, it works for the movie if you once you get into it, but
the Rowdy Piper movie,
They Live.
Yeah, that sounds like more like
by John Carpenter, who did Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, Carpentober.
Yeah. The only hope is Buckaroo Banzai.
That tells me everything I need to know about the movie.
Yeah.
And the last one, expect the unexpected. He does.
That sounds like someone kids, when you're in a room, you literally write 1,000 things on a whiteboard nowadays. But back in the day, it was probably on sticky notes in the back, like, hamburgers or bags of cocaine. And, they're trying to come up with
sticky notes of bags of cocaine.
Yeah, they're trying to come up with ideas like, we need taglines, people. We're not leaving here until we get
Spin the wheel.
Yeah. So it's like, you won't believe your eyes. Yeah, let's go with it. Aliens? Why not? Sure, why not?
I like that one.
Oh yeah.
Aliens? Why not?
It would work.
Well, that's kind of how I feel.
I like the last one. That's my favorite because expect the unexpected is the tagline of my all-time favorite reality show.
Big Brother?
Yes. That is the tagline that Ms. Julie Monvez says.
Well, it did come out in 1984. Dun, dun,
1984. It came out in 1984.
Yeah, this film, Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah. Big Brother did not start in 1984.
No, but Big Brother's watching.
Big Brother is watching.
From 1984 by George Orwell.
And it all comes down to Illuminati, man. Just saying, dude. Just saying.
Side note, Home for the Holidays is a 95 movie starring Holly Hunter, Robert Downey Jr., Anne Bancroft, and Dylan McDermott, Dermot Mulrooney.
Both of them?
No, just one of them. Yeah.
I think I may have watched that.
I think it's so too. Claire Danes is in it.
Yeah, if she was in it, she was my crush of like 1996.
So add that to your list, holiday movie people.
If you haven't already, I guess.
Yeah.
So you just gave us taglines. Are there any alternative taglines that did not make
but
the
he's
cut?
going to ask us for negative taglines. Alternative? The ones
That's what
that
he
we
was
make
just asking.
No, but why are you asking him for? He usually asks us for them.
Not really. I thought
Well, Roman's the host tonight.
No, I thought that was kind of my thing, is to flip the script a little bit.
It is. I'm just sidelined by my echoing in my eardrums.
You can say that again.
Maybe it's just my ears.
I don't know. I don't hear any echoing. So
do you hear that? It's a funny squeaky sound.
Okay, yeah, I do. It kind of sounds almost like she has a slight filter.
There's no. Oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Try it now.
Hello. That's so much better. I would like an apology.
Are you sure?
I really would.
That's what I had. I had the dial turned up.
There's an alien like sitting out in the audience of our show.
Just call me John.
I am Doug.
John Big Booty.
That wasn't my favorite.
John Lithgow. Oh, I love John Lithgow.
I don't have any taglines.
Okay, let's
You got all
see.
gruff with that. I don't have any taglines.
Damn it. I got one.
A mountain comes between us. Huh?
Not bad.
Why couldn't one of the taglines be that main line that silly?
Wherever you are, there, or wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't be a good tagline, I
No,
guess, because
no.
you're like, huh?
He does everything and saves the day. Huh? Huh? Huh?
I mean, I
Huh?
guess.
Huh? Because
Huh?
you know, Buckaroo, he's a neurosurgeon, he's a band leader, he's this,
something,
he's
yeah.
this.
Samurai. He's a cowboy.
Yeah.
He's half white, half Asian, and he's here to kick ass.
Yeah.
And he likes trimming bushes. Is that how you spell bonsai? Banzai? Is that like the bonsai tree? Is that the way?
No, it's spelled Bonsi. It's bonsai tree.
Okay.
See on the poster, it's the first tagline.
All right.
Is what?
Beings from another dimension.
Oh, I don't
invaded
like
your
that.
world.
So every time I've seen this poster in your room, I knew it wasn't him, but he looks like David Tennant.
He does.
I
And
thought it was Paul Rudd.
He would be David Tennant would be a great Buckaroo Banzai.
But he doesn't look like David Tennant in the movie.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, actually not Paul Rudd. The guy from
RoboCop?
No. Oh, heavens to Betsy. He was in Mad About You.
Oh, Paul
Paul
Reiser.
Reiser.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally. He looks
Yeah.
like a young Paul Reiser.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah.
like Paul Reiser from Aliens in the
He
picture.
doesn't look
Absolutely.
like Paul Rudd at all.
So I think
Thanks, Drew Struzan, for making Peter Weller look like Paul Reiser.
I think they originally wanted Paul Reiser in the film, and they couldn't get it. So it's like, Peter Weller, you're doing anything?
If you're listening, make sure you pull up the Drew Struzan Buckaroo Banzai poster, and we could talk about it
Yeah,
together.
because all these other pictures are horrible. So the third one looks like Sean Astin a little bit.
The Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah, the one all the way at the end looks like a redheaded version of Prince Harry mixed with Seth Rogen.
Poor John Lithgow.
Ellen Barkin kind of looks like Bridget from Bridget Jones's Diary. What's her name?
Oh,
Renee Zellweger?
Yeah, that Renee
Yeah.
Zellweger.
Who does Christopher Lloyd look like?
I don't know.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, he looks like Christopher
he looks
Lloyd
like
from
Christ-
Clue.
Yeah. They
So
probably just
they-
took a headshot and drew it.
They all look
Clue.
like it's those caricatures that you get from Disney World, and the only one that looks remotely good is Christopher Lloyd. So
See,
yeah.
the characters from Disney World just have that creepy smile, like from the movie Smile, where it's like they're
Yeah, that big cheek
Yeah,
cheek
they're-
smile.
yeah.
It's- I'm surprised the movie Smile didn't have that, where a character was like smiling at them, and it's like, ah!
And he's wearing a pink tie. Looks like it's pink.
It's-
that's just the light.
I think it's the lighting.
Okay.
It's salmon.
All right. Move
It's
forward.
salmon. I'm
Oh,
told
yeah.
it's
So we're done with
salmon.
taglines,
Salmon.
right? I
Yes.
think my tagline won.
It did.
Okay,
It
cool.
did.
Woohoo.
It did. A quick synopsis of the movie, which is really hard to do. This is the hardest part of my outline, is to
Good luck.
Buckaroo Banzai is a brain surgeon, scientist, comic book hero, gunslinger, samurai, and the leader of the Hong Kong Cavaliers, a rock band / world-saving team. Banzai drives his car into what seemingly looks like a mountain, but really opened a portal to the 8th dimension, which started a cross-dimensional struggle as Dr. Lizardo, who was possessed by a being from the 8th dimension, 50 years prior, finds out that Buckaroo has found a way back to his home and sets out to steal the device that makes it possible, and he has to stop it.
Yeah, if you had told me that in the room, I would have said, nope, I'm out.
And that is the general idea for the movie. There's also Ellen Barkin's character, who is an identical lost twin of Banzai's dead wife.
Well, wait, pause. He never confirmed that she was dead. He just
did.
said she left.
No, in the was it the bus? I can't remember this. He was talking to Rawhide. She was talking to Clancy Brown, and he said that she was dead.
Oh, okay, I must have missed that.
Not when they were fighting in the bathroom.
Oh, I was just like, okay, she's. I mean, it's assumed she's gone, but maybe she just left him because he's freaking weird and he's into too much crap.
There's also a deleted scene, which doesn't help your question, but there is a deleted scene at that time when they were talking. He actually said that she was murdered by Hanoi Shan.
Oh,
but they took out all the Hanoi Shan stuff from the movie.
Now, I'm going to give a little editorial on this one. I can absolutely see why this is a cult classic, a fan favorite. Okay, it's a fantastic popcorn film. There are some absolute quotable lines, great characters. It's just entertainment. I mean, it is absolutely fun, and we've already touched on the cinematography is outstanding. Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, both Allison and I have kids, and if we were to say, hey, make a movie, give me any idea for a movie. Okay, so he is going to be a brain surgeon, and he's a samurai. He's a leader samurai, and he has a band, and
he's got comic books written after him.
Oh yeah.
And he's a cowboy. Mom, make him a cowboy.
And he can go through mountains in his car.
He's got a rocket car.
I like it.
And you can fly through spaceships.
Yeah, there's these aliens that come down.
Seriously, like this is straight up, and that's some as much as
and you don't get any more 80s than that.
No.
As much as I'm lampooning it, that's some of the fun of this film.
Yeah,
where it's like, okay, if you've ever been that kid who's just gone on this pixie stick rant on what you want to watch, okay, this is your movie. Right down to the T. Now we'll hopefully get more into it because
we will.
Yeah, it to me
strap in, ladies and gentlemen.
It starts off so awesome, and then it just kind of.
So you should let Gabe watch it a little bit later because I had it on while Carter was in the room with me watching his show, and every now and then he would look up because that's what he does, and he'd always look up at when there was aliens, and he's like, look at those aliens. And I go, yeah. And he goes, well, they're weird and goofy looking. And I go, this is a really old movie. And he goes, okay. And then I go, it might give you nightmares. And he goes, no, this is pretty goofy. And then he goes back. And then later he pulls up and he's like, that guy looks like he's got cowboy pants on.
Okay.
Like, it was just perfect.
You want to know what? The eerie thing is, I had the movie on when I was essentially house sitting for my folks. Mm-hmm. But my dad came back. I picked him up from a flight, and I was finishing the movie, and then I was heading out. And my dad actually had the same actual tidbits of information. He goes, look at that! By the way, for the record, for those of you who are listening to me, my dad's straight up Cuban, so he is pretty much Scarface, essentially. An alien! Okay, there's an alien. Look at him, he's a cowboy. Okay, he's a cowboy. What's going on here? I don't understand this movie.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So you got an 8-year-old, and how old is your dad?
74.
They're both with they're taking the movie in the same way.
So what you're saying is the movie is timeless.
It's timeless. It's
absolutely timeless.
The confusion of this movie is timeless.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
That was not timed.
Oh, that was good.
That wasn't dubbed or anything. That was straight up us.
So on that note, back when we interviewed David Weiner for the first time, we did it for In Search of Tomorrow, which was 80s sci-fi movies.
Thank you, David, by the way.
Yes, thank you. Which also included a little spot about the adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension. And in the documentary, Peter Weller reflects on the movie and challenges anyone to tell him what the movie is actually about.
You see that watermelon over there? We'll get back to it later.
Yeah. His answer was that he asked his son, and his son said, "Who cares what it's about? It's fun."
Yeah.
And personally, what I've called it, I've said it's a sequel to a movie that doesn't have a first story. You're just thrown into this story with a background, with stuff that's already happened, and you're just in for the ride.
I agree with that because it's like here's this guy and here's his group and here's his band and here's this, and don't ask questions. You should have already seen the first movie. You've already been introduced to all this. In the beginning. Oh, and that's another thing Carter caught in the beginning where it starts talking about him and his mom and his dad. He goes, oh, that looks like Star Wars, but it's not.
Carter and my dad should have his own podcast.
I think we should. Yes.
Yeah. But
You can call it Timeless.
that's what has Star Wars. I can see that. Okay.
Oh, man.
Mr. Colonel, you're funny. You're okay.
So is this Carter in like a few years when his voice starts changing?
No,
Mr. Colonel.
But no. To piggyback off of what you're saying there, the way I interpreted the film is because we're all subject to our generations in our youth.
Right.
So the writers of the film grew up in the 50s, early 60s. So you had the serial comics. You had
the pulp stories.
Yeah, exactly.
You had these cowboy, samurai.
Yeah, you had the guy who did everything.
Right.
And you loved it because you're reading it. It's like, yeah, he speaks my language. This is awesome. Mm-hmm. You know, and
the idea for this movie was to have a series of movies. You know, what's going to be the next adventure of this crazy guy and his band? It
was a pulp comic.
Yeah.
And if you think about it like that, then it's like, boom, I totally get it. But
Well, that's how we're going to think about it right now.
That's how I thought about when I first saw it in like 1988 on HBO, watching films to entertain myself because it was rainy outside. And it was one of those things where my brother was like, hey, you want to play duck hunt for the 50th time and make fun of the fact that you're not good at duck hunt? No, I'm okay. I'm watching.
It's a very specific question.
No, I'm not recurring any.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to
stop
now
me?
Lord.
for a therapy session for Roman.
Anyways, so I'm sitting there watching it, and it was one of those things. What are you watching? I don't know.
I really don't know.
He went through a mountain, and the guy from The Fly's in it. Yeah. And then I watched it one time. I want to say there was a lot of space in like 2003, 2004 when I was really into myself, thinking I was this intellectual.
I like that you looked at me like I was supposed to give you like the yeah, it was that time, yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know.
So you've watched it multiple times.
Well, that's how I do things.
This was your third time watching?
No, I do things in multiples, baby. Okay. Just get used to it.
I've lost count.
Yeah. No, so around 2003, 2004, when I was seeing myself as an intellectual superior, where I was just so hip and awesome. You know, I listened to Modest Mouse and, Flaming Lips.
And you thought watching this movie would help that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sadly. No. And I watched it.
It's not a Wes Anderson movie.
It's a W.D. Richter movie.
It could have been. I mean,
I want to see Wes Anderson's Buckaroo Banzai.
It
would be Owen Wilson,
Bill Murray.
Oh yeah.
Edward Norton.
Yeah, Edward Norton. You would have Bill Murray. You would have
Frances
Owen
McDormand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Let's see. Gene Hackman. He had a good experience with it.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman would be good. Oh, big booty. Oh, come here, big booty.
Who's the guy with the nose that was in the Predator movie?
Oh, Brody.
Yeah, Adrian Brody.
Yeah, he would be great in that, actually.
Would he?
He would be the Jeff Goldblum character.
Yeah, he would. No, yeah.
Well, Frances McDormand can't be Penny. I'll have to pick somebody else.
She'll be Dr. Lizardo.
We can give that to
Danny
Gwyneth
Glover.
Paltrow.
Danny Glover would be in it.
Yeah.
Welcome
to Cinemadness does the recast. What's funny is we when the Suncoast Ghostbusters were doing the fundraising movie nights at Studio Movie Grill, one of the movies was Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension, and it was a full theater, mainly of people who haven't seen it, and it was an interesting night of oh and huh.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, and then there's just us who just love the movie. So
it's like basically a bigger extrapolation of this room,
this
right
table
here.
Right here. Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it was fun. It was fun because there's a lot of people that never saw it, and they probably won't ever again. And then there's people who have seen it, and didn't want to see it another time, but they had.
So
Two.
1, 2. Okay.
All right, so let's get into the making of the movie. Way back. This is ancient times, 1974. W.D. Richter's wife read a review of Dirty Pictures from the Prom, the debut novel from Dartmouth College graduate and writer
From the Prom.
Earl Mac Rausch.
Mac Roush.
That was 3 names. Earl Mac Rausch. That's a crazy name. And recommended it to her husband. So Richter read it. And he loved this book and wrote Rausch a letter. And the two began corresponding. And when the writer told him about his interest in becoming a screenwriter, Richter often offered him an open-ended invitation to visit him in Los Angeles.
My dearest Mr. Roush, I write this in a time where I'm thinking of you and your wonderful story. Please join me in Hollywood, where we will unite and write a wonderful story together. Sincerely, yours, Richter.
Ah, yes. We're the Ken Burns of movie podcasts. Over several dinners, Rausch told Richter and his wife of a character named Buckaroo Bandy.
You know, I got this great idea.
Are we going to dramatize this whole thing?
Might as well. Just let's have some fun with it.
Because there's enough for 3 episodes already.
Nope. Just let him finish.
Oh boy!
So the character's name was
in my life.
Buckaroo Bandy, about whom he was thinking of writing a screenplay for. Richter and his wife liked the idea and paid Rausch $1,500 to develop and write it.
This is just meant to be like narrated. I'm sorry. Here's $15,000.
$1,500.
$1,500. Yeah, seriously.
That's nothing.
Well, then let's do a Dave Franco and make a documentary or make a biography about this making of this movie.
There you go.
We could do the disaster artist style.
Yes.
His script was inspired by, quote unquote, all those out and out, press the accelerator to the floor, nonstop kung fu movies of the early 70s.
All 3 of them.
Yep. Richter remembers that Rausch wrote several stories about the character, and he would go and he, quote, would get 30 or 40 pages into a script, abandon its storyline, and write a new one. Kind of like how the movie is. Okay.
I'm sorry. I have like governor's strip on my creativity here, guys. I can't do behind the scenes
Listen to
things.
the story.
Yeah, I am.
No, I am.
You left on 30, 40 stories that just went on. Yep.
He also recalled, it's easy to start something, and then since you're really not serious about it, as you should be, end up writing half of it. You shove 100 pages into a drawer, and then you forget about it over the years.
Oh my God, it's me.
And then he started, and then constantly kept starting Buckaroo scripts that ended that way. You guys can talk in between, just... I don't need like full-on dramatization.
I just didn't have anything to say.
I got nothing else then. You take away my dramatization like club for the proverbial golf that we're playing. I'm just left with my putter, and I'll just putter. I'll putter.
I was just listening.
Like Inner Space.
Yes.
Jack Putter. Rausch's original 30-page treatment was titled Find the Jector, said the president. Quote, a Buckaroo Banzai thriller. Early on, one of the revisions, Rausch was changing Buckaroo's surname from Bandy to Banzai. Rausch was not happy with the name change, but Richter convinced him to keep the new name. The Hong Kong Cavaliers also appeared in these early drafts, but according to Richter, it never really went to a completed script. Rausch wrote, but never wrote the end. Another early draft was titled The Strange Case of Mr. Cigars, about a huge robot and a box of Adolf Hitler's cigars.
Huh.
I mean, these are all like pulp stories. And that's where it was. Canton and Richter formed their own production company and decided that Buckaroo Banzai would be the first film. Under the supervision, Rausch wrote a 60-page treatment titled Lepers from Saturn. They shopped Rausch's treatment.
Lepers from Saturn has a ring to it.
It does.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
You
shopped
wanted me to talk, man.
They shopped Rausch's treatment around the production executives who were also their peers, proposing that Richter direct it. But no one wanted to take on such an unusual subject matter by two first-time producers and a first-time director.
No.
Yes. Richter contacted a veteran producer, Sidney Beckerman at MGM UA, who, with Canton, had worked before. Beckerman liked the treatment. Wow, I can't read my own writing. And it's typed.
I linked the treatment.
He linked to the treatment and introduced Richter to the studio chief, David Bagelman. Within 24 hours, they had a development deal with the studio, and it took Rausch, a year and a half to write the final screenplay. During this time, the lepers from the treatment became lizards, and then lectroids from Planet 10. Much of the film's deleted characters' histories were taken from Rausch's unfinished Banzai scripts as well. Bagelman formed Sherwood Productions and exercised a buyout with MGM for the Banzai script. I mean, this thing is like hot commodity now for some reason.
Is it Sherwood or Sheerwood?
Sherwood.
Sherwood Forest?
Sherwood.
Like the Sherwood Forest.
Sure. Wood.
No, from Robin Hood.
The only thing, like, I'm trying to put myself in the producer's shoes. Why would you greenlight this film? Like, what about the story that was so amazing? The one thing that I can think of is they were really trying to hop on the Star Wars train.
I don't think so. I think it was more they were trying to, because by '84, adventure movies were all the rage.
Yeah.
You had King Solomon's Mines. You had the
Raiders.
2 Indiana Jones movies that had been out by then. You had all that. You had the Goonies at '84.
They were really trying to hop on kind of the same thing. I think I was going for Star Wars and meant adventure per se because
Star Wars does have an adventure aspect to it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
So he took the script to 20th Century Fox, who agreed to make it with a $12 million budget. Rausch ended up writing 3 more drafts before they had a shooting script.
You know, whoever made the show The Offer on Paramount Plus for Godfather, they really got to do a treatment for Banzai because this is just too rich of information that has to be made into like a 12 episode like mini series.
I'd watch it. I'd watch anything with the name Buckaroo Banzai on it. Yeah,
like I can just see everything in my mind, like with The Offer, where it's like the writer writes 12 things every day about Buckaroo Banzai, and he's like, these are really great, but how does it end? It's like, that's wonderful. There's more. Yeah, but how do they end? But there's more.
We haven't gotten to that yet.
Yeah, but I think we can make a movie out of this because of all the adventures that are coming out. I think it could be really awesome. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, but how do they end? But there's more.
Here's $12 million.
No kidding. It's like, okay, now
that's
what?
That's ridiculous.
It's like
that's amount of money.
Right? I can't even raise $10,000 for a movie.
$12 million for that movie.
You have films that have been sitting like the Purgatory of Hell, and this film, again, it has a lot to it, but this film got greenlit. You know, there's some guy who's sitting like on Forrest Gump for 18 years or whatever. Okay, going, seriously?
Actually, that's like true. Did you watch the episode of? I mean,
I didn't randomly say that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that was just amazing how long Forrest Gump just sat there, and it's like,
and it took a guy going through a breakup to figure it out. It's like,
oh, good for Richter.
Stupid is, stupid does,
and good for some of the audience too.
Yes.
Well, let's move on to casting. There's some stories behind the casting too.
Again, 12 episodes.
When considering the role of Buckaroo Banzai, Richter wanted an actor who could both look heroic with grease all over his face and project the kind of intelligence you would associate with a neurosurgeon and an inventor. No, I'm just kidding. The studio wanted a recognizable film star, but Richter and Canton wanted to cast a relatively unknown actor. Richter looked in New York City because he assumed that an actor with experience on a stage and small films would, quote unquote, be able to completely interact with the props. This was a very prop-heavy movie.
Yes.
He had been impressed by Peter Weller's performance in Shoot the Moon and met with him. At first, the actor was hesitant to take the role because he was unclear on the overall tone of the film. Would it be campy, he said? Would it be a cartoon? Or would it be the sort of wacky, realistic film that would catch people sideways and not be a cartoon? Weller remembers thinking that. Richter told Banzai's story to Weller and convinced him to do the film. The actor stated that he based his character off Jacques Cousteau, Albert Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci, and Adam Ant.
Geez, that's seriously, like, I can see someone listening to our podcast in the car. Let's just call them like 23, 24 years old, because that's really our major demographic. And
or 40.
Yeah. No. just roll with me on this one. It's like, okay, yeah, Leonardo da Vinci, got it. Albert Einstein, got it. Okay, great. Adam Ant.
Who?
Wait, is that the Hanna-Barbera character that I see every so often? Like
Paul Rudd?
Yeah, Paul Rudd. Everyone loves Paul Rudd. That's a fact.
Ant-Man?
Yeah, it's like, okay, Ant-Man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But if you look at what he's wearing at the club when he plays at the club,
absolutely.
It's full on Adam Ant.
Yeah, he just needs the one little eye black on one of the eyes, where he looks like one of the guys who raided the party at the end of
Weird Science.
Weird Science, yes. And he couldn't be with a beautiful woman
without wearing his jeans. Can we forget this happened? I don't want to lose my teaching job.
That's right. Oh, I love that.
I talked to Michael Berryman about that movie. He said he had so much fun making that film.
It's
just for that little bit.
Oh.
John Lithgow was also not sure about the movie.
I mean, do you blame anybody for being not sure about this movie? You give me if this wasn't my first movie, you're giving me the script and I would be like, what the heck is this about?
Yeah, like how does a agent for these guys like say, hey, Johnny baby, this is a really hot script. Well, I'm a serious actor. No, I'm telling you, you got to do the script. It's fantastic. Okay, who's the lead? This guy Weller.
Peter Weller guy.
Yeah. Okay, why should I do the script again? Because it's fantastic. Just do it. Don't worry about it. They're giving us some money. Okay?
Well, Lithgow was convinced by Richter telling him that the character was a real feast for an actor with this wonderful Jekyll and Hyde character that he could do.
Okay.
Lithgow later said that he told an interviewer, I've had roles where I came very close to going over the top. In Twilight Zone, I almost went over the top several times. But this role is completely over the top, and it makes the role in Twilight Zone seem like a model restraint. I do it in the wild red fright wig and the rotten false teeth, and with a thick Italian accent. It's wild. For Lizardo's accent, Lithgow spent time with an Italian tailor at MGM and recorded his voice.
And he learned nothing.
Lithgow changed his walk of that of an old crab, that's what he says, because my alien metabolism is supposed to be messed up. He said his character playing Lizardo felt like playing the madman in the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Okay.
He had a fantastic time in this movie. In fact, there was the one scene where they're torturing Buckaroo Banzai, and that was the first time they played off each other, and they had to do the scene over and over and over and over again because Peter Weller kept cracking up over Lithgow's performance.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was cool.
He creeped me out.
He's supposed to. I mean, he killed Mike from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It was just...
Richter's only choice for John Big Booty was Christopher Lloyd. That's strange. I mean, Christopher Lloyd, aside from Back to the Future, is not really a standout actor to me.
Was this before
Taxi.
Clue?
Yes.
Taxi.
Oh, it was before Clue?
Yeah, Taxi. That's about it.
So he hadn't seen him do anything really big.
Well, Taxi.
Yeah, but he was a strung out guy in Taxi who always...
Reverend Jim.
Yeah.
So he's basing it off of his performance that he's seen in Taxi, and that's pretty much it?
Yeah. And Christopher Lloyd, you know, he jumped at the chance to be in this, so that's kind of cool.
Do I act strung out and tired? No? Okay, I'll do it.
Richter first met Jeff Goldblum on Invasion of the Body Snatchers and wanted him to play the character New Jersey. The actor admired the script and was eager to work with the cast and the director that has come to be assembled. Lewis Smith was asked to dye his hair blonde for Perfect Tommy. It took 8 hours and saw it go from red to orange to fluorescent yellow to white. And Clancy Brown said that his character is very commonsensical. He's the everyman of the film, and he is. He narrates the beginning. He's the guy that, you know, that Buckaroo turns to all the time. He gets all of his information from Clancy Brown, and not as fun as his character in Highlander, but
no.
So that is the casting. That was
You didn't mention Ellen Barkin.
Yeah, she didn't. She just got hired.
But Ellen Barkin is a great actress.
She is, but there's like no wacky story.
Yeah,
about
but you
her.
still should have said Ellen Barkin.
You
Aren't
guys-
you listing all the cast?
Okay, Ellen Barkin was also cast.
Okay, this is Roman's moment where he brings up the Muppets. Okay, so no, I will not actually do the Muppets.
Are you going to say
impression.
she's like Janice?
No,
Oh.
no. Remember the Muppets 2010 movie that came out? The reboot? Yeah, where Rolf goes, "Hey, you didn't mention my story. It's pretty interesting." Where it's just Charles Rolf. Hey, he's on the hammock. It's like, "Hey, Rolf, Ellen Barkin, you want to be in a movie? Okay." There you go. You haven't mentioned her. Well, I just got this
Just mentioning her. She's the only female.
Like
I
Michael
know.
Richards in UHF.
Yeah.
Hey, Stanley, you want your own show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you know Rolf was named? They listed the top. Well, they listed like all the Muppets in order of like the best Muppets, but Rolf was number 2. I was actually surprised.
Wow.
Who's number 1?
Who do you think was number 1?
Pepe.
I'm sorry, what?
Gonzo.
Pepe.
Well, I know you're not being serious.
No, I'm not.
No, Gonzo was maybe 5, I think. 4.
Whatever.
Who would be
It's
in the-
Kermit.
No, Kermit was like
Miss Piggy?
Yeah.
Why is Miss Piggy so popular?
Miss Piggy is way more popular than Kermit, at least for me. I mean, it's just
What
I
does
don't
it?
know.
What does Miss Piggy have? What is her it factor? Because I've never understood this.
Go ahead.
No.
Miss Piggy is funny. Miss Piggy is
She was funny in Muppets Take Manhattan.
no, Miss
but-
Piggy is funny continuously. Even her newest stuff that they had. Remember? Did you watch the? I don't know why we're talking about this.
The show, the new show. The
She
one
was
on
hilarious.
Disney?
The thing about
Yeah.
Miss Piggy is she stays relevant with what's going on, and I'm just speaking
Right, 'cause she's a
as
diva.
I'm just speaking as a female. I think the majority of the females relate to her because she's funny and she has this.
And she's the only real prevalent female on the cast.
Correct. And
Yeah.
she has this look on her face. Like I don't know. Like you can tell when she's mad. You can tell
Yeah.
when, I don't know. She's just funny. And yes, of course, we're going to gravitate to her. Her outfit changes every day.
Yeah.
I mean, Kermit wears the same thing every time. Nothing.
And
Nothing.
That's precisely where I was going with, is one of the reasons, because my wife likes Piggy, and every girl that I've been friends with or more than friends with have always had a sweet spot for Piggy. Because that's the only one that you can.
Yeah,
really
I mean, the only
relate
other
to.
person we have is Janice.
So just like the Hispanics in the room, we can relate to Pepe the Prawn.
I'm sure Pepe was down there in the top 20.
Because that's the only one that we get. You know, we get Speed Gonzalez or Pepe the Prawn. There you go. Congratulations, folks.
King Prawn.
Okay. No, we're not going down that rabbit hole. We're not doing nothing but, yeah.
No.
Please
Sorry, I even
continue.
brought it up.
No, that's my fault. You know what? Yes. Hey, you want to be in this movie, Ellen? Sure.
So
okay.
Ellen Barkin was also in the movie.
Thank you.
She got cast along with the rest of the cast. That
I was
remained nameless.
I was just excited to see her because, again, I hadn't seen this movie. I didn't know anybody who was in it. I mean, I knew people who... I didn't know who was in it, I guess I should say. So when I saw her, I was like, wait, that's Ellen Barkin, because I watch a lot of Ellen Barkin because she was in this really good show on TNT up until the end last year called Animal Kingdom, and she's a really fantastic actress. So I was excited to see her. That's all.
Now her role was Penny Pretty.
Now, was this her first major role?
I have no idea.
Ellen Barkin fan over here.
I'm
Anything?
I'm an old Ellen Barkin fan.
Lifelong. You're
Oh my
head of
God.
the fan club, right?
Yeah.
I'll look it up for you. How about that?
You're a Barkinette.
No.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like a fun like
Lord.
Barkin Tarkins. I mean,
You guys are jerks.
I like Barkinette.
yeah, barking
Makes
trees.
it sound
Barking
like
up the
she's
wrong
a
tree.
dog.
Ah, there you go.
I mean, her name is Barkin.
Yeah.
Oh. So pre-production of the movie,
The Barkin Spartans.
the Barkin Sparkin.
Yeah, there you go.
Production designer J. Michael Riva had worked with Richter before and spent 2 years working on the look for Banzai. He and Richter studied many kinds of art and literature from the film's look, including medical journals, African magazines, and Russian history. The inspiration for the look of the Lectroids came from Riva sporting a lobster on his nose. He based the Lectroids alien from a Canadian paleontologist Dale Russell's Dinosauroid, and I looked these up. These Dinosauroids really look like the Lectroids. This is weird thing. It was an extrapolation of what dinosaurs might have evolved to if they had survived, but modified the concept because it would have required more prosthetics and more expense, and would have also immobilized the actors.
Cost more than $12 million. Ellen Barkin was in Diner and Eddie and the Cruisers prior to this.
Oh, Diner from 1982.
So she was a well-established
Underrated
actress.
film, by the way.
Yes.
So all of them were lucky to be a part of a movie with Ellen Barkin.
No kidding.
I bet everybody on that cast and crew is a card carrying Barkinette.
No kidding. Hey, if Barkin's on this film, we walk.
The Lectroid makeup consisted of 12 separate pieces of latex appliances per person. Each actor's makeup was unique, with casts taking of their face. For the red Lectroids, which were the bad guys, Riva consulted Russian history to give them a more baggy-suited Moscow bureaucrat sort of image. And you can see that.
Some nice subtle, okay, there you go.
Yeah. And it also fit the Cold War setting of...
Yeah. So for all you humanities majors out there, that's a good humanities lesson right there.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Costume designer Aggie Gerard Rogers, who designed costumes for Return of the Jedi, American Graffiti, and The Conversation, met Richter while working on Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Man, Invasion of the Body Snatchers was big for Richter.
No kidding. Like, it's like in between shots, it's like, hey, I got this awesome story that I've been working on. Oh, yeah, what you got there? Okay, well, if it ever comes about it, let me know.
It's like when Wes Craven was shooting Swamp Thing. He was very unhappy with this movie, and the whole time he was doing it, he was writing Nightmare on Elm Street.
I'm going to show those son of bitches.
You hate this movie. I want to write Where the Heart Is, or was it Music and Mirrors, or whatever that...
Music and lyrics?
No, the movie he did that was with Meryl Streep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I want to make an actual love story.
What
Yeah.
was it called?
Fine. Here you go. Man.
Riva noted that that she fell right into step with the stuff I was designing for the sets, making the costumes match the color of the rooms. Richter wanted the black Lectroids, which were they were the black people Lectroids. They were the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
But they were all black.
With dreadlocks.
Yeah. Well, in their human form.
Yeah, they're kind of Jamaican.
Yeah. She wanted them to have a warrior-like demeanor.
So problematic.
But in an elegant, not fierce fashion.
I just pictured all of them as Eddie Grant singing
Electric
Avenue.
Avenue. Yeah. Because John Parker looked just like Eddie Grant.
Just like him.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh, I can't see that now.
Identify yourself? No. We're gonna rock on to Buckaroo Banzai.
Don't worry, man. We're going to say the word. Put your shirt on, white boy. To quote the great film Euro Trip. This is a regular Dutch bakery.
Put your clothes back on, white boy. I watched a gay porno once. The girls never came. The girls never came. I love that movie. I don't care how stupid it is.
So do I.
Oh, man.
And it really doesn't age well
It
at
sure
all.
hasn't. No. None of those early 2000 comedies have aged
Everything's just Me Too. Like, it would just, nope.
I mean, it really shouldn't be funny. Some of those jokes shouldn't be funny, but man, I love that movie. It's Scoozy.
But we're not covering Euro Trip today. We are covering another trip, a trip into the eighth dimension.
Ooh. For Buckaroo and his Cavaliers look, Rogers gathered Gianni Versace, Perry Ellis, Giorgio Armani sports jackets, suits, and ties. The clothing was mostly
There's half the
found...
budget.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. There's their budget.
The clothing was mostly found in the LA area stores. Rogers noted, we also wanted to have something a little off, so there's a kick to everything that makes it unique. Rick changed something on every outfit, on that it's an interesting style, but not cliche style. You throw stuff in, people will recognize. Goldblum's character was given a cowboy outfit to wear. According to the costumer.
Next costumer, please.
According to the costumer Redford Polinsky, the character thought he was dressed appropriately for an audition.
These names sounds like they're aliases. Like they don't want to be associated with.
They're all Alan Smithy. Is what they are.
Hey, did you actually want credit on this film? No. Shit.
I'm surprised Versace and all them.
Just called me Ranford Polinsky. That's it.
Yeah. I'm Dr. Schmitchels.
Versace.
And you're knocked up, so you can't read the news
mix some
anymore.
Versace with some Jordache, and you got their look.
British Knights with some British Knights.
British Knights.
Richter purposely wanted the film to have an unpolished look because the real world appears ramshackle, because people constantly repair whatever's around them.
And if you're Googling ramshackle, you're not alone, folks.
It's like a great name for a starship.
Quick
to the ramshackle!
I'm thinking like a punk band, like we just inspired someone. It's like, we're ramshackle!
The ramshackle? I just think it should be we're ramshackle.
Oh,
we are ramshackle.
Boy.
Oh man, we've been doing this way too long, dude. Oh boy, I think we need to get rid of the bunk beds and just go with king size bed. Like we're hitting that next level. You're welcome.
By the time of filming, Richter had completed a 300-page book called The Essential Buckaroo Banzai that consisted of notes he had of every complete script Rausch wrote over the years.
Without an ending?
Right. These included various references to a villain named Hanoi Shan, leader of the World Crime League. Bagelman was adamant that Across the Eighth Dimension would be the one and only Buckaroo Banzai movie that all references to Shan be removed. This included the removal of the original opening, which showed Buckaroo's father being killed by Shan and featuring Jamie Lee Curtis as Buckaroo's mother. Huh. The director later described Bagelman as our enemy for the entire movie. Things are getting dark.
Damn.
The rocket car was designed and built by Riva.
Because I didn't buy a squirrel. I took a ride on the rocket car.
Right, the rocket car. Okay, get on the bus.
Yeah, I did buy a squirrel.
I love that movie too.
Ratways. See?
Yeah,
See?
Rotweiss.
Ratways. I like Ratways. Anyways, Bubba Walters, yes.
The rocket car was designed by Riva, art director Stephen Dane, and Thrust Racing owners Jerry Siegel and George Hadback. I'm just waiting for Roman on that one. Thrust Racing.
Head back and thrust. Anyways.
Siegel started with a Ford F-350 truck, reinforced the frame assembly, and added a front end from a Grand National stock car, borrowed air scoops from a DC-3, and a one-man cockpit modeled after a Messerschmitt fighter plane. Under the hood, Siegel modified the Ford engine with an oversized carburetor and a nitrous oxide injector. Northup University loaned the production a working GE turbojet engine. The oscillation overthruster was created by Riva and the visual effects supervisor Michael Fink. Out of a gyroscope, to which a metal frame, wires, circuits, and tiny strobe lights were added. I used to have a replica overthruster, but it's in my storage unit now.
So this was the original Fast and the Furious.
That's
They
right.
had nitrous and everything.
And jet engines and cockpits.
Yeah.
You know what? Hearing you talk, it's like I think I figured out why so many people were involved with this.
Ramshackle?
Exactly. No, it is very creative. It's very out there, and it has a lot of potential to really spawn off. Like I could see how some people probably thought that this could have been like a series, a universe. Yeah. Well, no. Well, yeah.
A series of movies.
Yeah. And it's like, oh man, if I can latch onto this, I'm golden.
Which is a universe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it is. I stand corrected.
The BBU.
Exactly. All we need is some barking. Yes.
The Big Barkin universe.
Yes.
The Big Butte universe.
Ellen Barkin. Rules all.
Lizardo's 1938 laboratory was filmed in a deserted industrial site. The set decorators rented a collection of 1930s electrical props originally used in the original Boris Karloff Frankenstein films.
How much did they pay for the deserted industrial site? Did they even tell anybody that they're shooting there? It's like
I don't think you have to.
yeah, it's like do you
It's
have
deserted.
a permit? It's like, guys, it's deserted. What? All right, sorry, as you were. Continue on.
The interiors of Yoyodyne propulsion systems were shot in the abandoned Firestone tire factory. Wilmington's Department of Water and Power provided the location of Dr. Lizardo's shock tower.
They had to pay for the Armani jacket somehow. They had to cut the budget. It's like, I got this abandoned place near the ghetto.
It also served as the Yoyodyne exterior. While the Armco steel plant in Torrance, housed the Electroid launch hangar. Weller remembers that during the scene where his character... Oh, I just told about this. How he laughed too hard and they had to keep doing different takes. See,
I don't think anybody got any food on this film either.
there was no craft services.
No.
Tell me, have you seen the Bonnaroo? The Bonnaroo! The Bonnaroo!
Craft services actually provided by Kraft mac and cheese.
Yes.
You believe this, Kraft?
I'd be down with that.
You would. You like the powder stuff, don't you?
I love mac and cheese.
But you specifically love the
yeah,
powder
I don't
stuff.
like the stuff that has the creamy. I mean, I'll eat it, but no.
I get the sharp cream.
Nope.
Yeah,
Mix
if you
some-
start getting cream, it's starting to become Fredo.
Mix
Like
some,
you're officially
hot
now
dogs in there.
in Alfredo territory. You're
No,
no
you're
longer
not.
in. Yes.
No, you're not.
Now, do you personally cook the hot dogs, or do you let the hot dogs kind of simmer in the hot?
You pop them babies in the microwave.
Oh,
And then
No,
you cut them up, and then you mix them around in the
Nope,
mac and
nope.
cheese.
I'm a pro. You gotta let them simmer in it because that way all the juices mix in. So
Well, it depends. Am I making it over the stove, or am I making one of my Easy Macs that only takes 3 minutes in the microwave? I mean, you gotta be.
I'm a pro stove man.
I'm a stove guy. Yeah. the
Okay,
Easy Mac.
well, at 7 o'clock in the morning, when you're making it for your child's lunch, you got to do Easy Mac.
Oh,
I see.
See, no, my kid just gets ham slices and bread, also known as a sandwich.
Well, sometimes my kid is sick of ham sandwiches and Lunchables, so I give him my hot lunch of mac and cheese if he doesn't like the get up at school.
See, my kid
get up
is my progeny, so therefore
Prodigy.
Yeah.
So he just drinks coffee all day.
Exactly, breathe the pressure.
and it's an
Come play my game and I'll
outdated
take
internet
it.
service.
Yeah, exactly. No, but my kid
Also a fire starter.
Exactly, twisted fire starter, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, psychosomatic and insane.
Oh my God.
Yeah. If you were going for a progeny,
They weren't. And I shouldn't have ever brought up craft services. Keep going.
yeah, please continue. I'm sorry.
Studio head Beagleman continued to interfere with the production through the initial stages
Studio
of
head
shooting.
Biggleman continuing to interfere.
Demanding changes and sending notes. By the end of filming, these demands had disappeared. The crew became convinced that Beagleman had just checked out. And to test their theory, added a now famous scene in which the presence of a watermelon becomes a topic for a short discussion. When the scene was allowed into the movie without comment, they concluded that to the management that was indeed ignoring them, and that Beagleman had been gone and they had free reign to make the movie they wanted.
Yep.
And that seems to be everybody's favorite line is, why is there a watermelon there?
That was kind of funny. It wasn't my favorite, but
It was.
I thought that they were legit going to talk about it later. So, and then I just kind of forgot about it. And then I was like, oh, well. Actually, when I saw that, in addition to my thoughts, I also was like, why am I even asking myself why there's a like after all of this?
This
why,
is the problem
yeah,
I have?
like I
Yeah.
have no problems with
Exactly.
that. Like what? So
Oh man, I think that just goes on par with I think my confusion and annoyances with this particular film, because it is literally right in that middle gap where it's two jokes away from being a farce. You know, it literally is that
Right.
that edge to being a Mel Brooks film, where it has classic delivery but completely out of this world comedic scenarios. But it's also a situation where if you just tone it down a little bit, you actually have a borderline compelling sci-fi film if you take away this or that. And now you kind of have a Dune type film. You have Dune 1984 type film.
my favorite.
My precious.
that
You
was
mentioned
a
the
joke.
Dooms. Robin, you mentioned the Dooms and
Stop.
the Barkins.
Stop with the barking crap. Have
Sorry,
they,
sweetheart.
have they
have awakened.
have they riffed this movie?
No, this movie is unriffable.
Really?
Yes, because
It's already riffing itself.
it's so ridiculous and over the top, but it's played so serious that it's a riff would do it a disservice. I
It
would
really
think.
is kind of like an Ed Woodish type film, if you think about it, where they straight up have a straight play.
But don't you think?
I mean, an actual Ed Wood film, not the movie Ed Wood.
No, I got you.
Yeah, sorry.
You mean
But
like
do-
how they take like even good movies and riff them too?
No. What I was going to say is, I hear what you're saying, but the one that is similar to me, where you just said that they are acting so serious, like taking themselves so serious, which yes, for the most part they kind of are. That Return of the Swamp Thing, I feel like they were taking themselves serious in that movie and making a serious sci-fi type movie, and they still riffed that.
Do you really think that? You really think they took that seriously while making it?
They seemed like it when they were acting in it. Like, this is a movie, and this is the character Swamp Thing, and then we got Heather Locklear's character, and it seemed, or they seem similar to me, where
Okay.
it's just kind of like, we know what we are. We're acting kind of like we know this isn't real, and I don't know.
On that same vein, Sharknado, that's one thing that they continually said is when they were doing the film, they played it straight.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't act like it was something wacky or goofy or
They didn't.
Well,
No.
you can tell from the first Sharknado on. The first one is a straightforward movie. It's a ridiculous concept, but it's a straightforward movie. They were taking it serious, and then it became a farce of what it
Yeah,
said.
I've only seen a couple of them, but then they started taking it goofy. So
I
you're
mean-
talking about the first one.
Yeah, if you're watching Sharknado 6, yeah.
I mean, Sharknado 3 was called Oh Hell No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sharknado, oh hell no, which I pitched a couple ideas and they didn't make it. But
But
oh,
a
hell
lot
no.
of these
That was
B
shot
mov-
in here at Universal.
A lot
Yeah.
of these B movies, they
Your
do
friend's
take
making
them,
it with my friend.
They do take themselves seriously, and they can still riff it. I was just asking. I'm not saying that they should riff it, but I'm just curious.
No, I'm just saying that it just I don't think it would riff well just because of how
I don't know.
it's a very niche film. Even if it has a weird sci-fi feel to it, it's you either love it or you don't.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I was just curious.
I mean, it's like, can you riff Inglourious Bastards? It kind of makes
Well,
fun
yeah.
of itself to a degree where it's.
I feel you can almost riff anything. It
Well,
doesn't
yeah.
mean it'll be great, a perfect riff movie. There's a lot of ones that we've seen that are like
Schindler's
it was okay.
List, the riff.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm sorry. I take that back. My apologies. You can't.
What's with the pink coat? Come on, guys. Seriously.
I mean, let's be serious.
Riff track.
The Notebook.
Totally. And I love The Notebook. You can riff that. I can
Angela's
think of
Ashes.
I can think of a lot of goofy things to make fun of both of them.
Cider House Rules.
Oh, Sophie's Choice.
I think we're onto something now. I think we need to contact Riff Track.
I'm going to hell for that one. No, Schindler's List was my ticket to hell right there.
So after they got free reign of making the movie, Beagleman eventually made one more major change after seeing that the movie ended with a kiss and demanding something more. By this time, the budget was almost completely spent and the production nearly complete. Richter decided to have the end credits appear over a new scene that was shot in the style of a music video, hiring a choreographer to arrange the action over new music by Michael Boddicker. The song was not ready in time, so the crew filmed it while playing Billy Joel's Uptown Girl. Richter described the scene as having kind of emerged from the end of post-production. The scene was shot with the actors walking in the LA River in front of the Sepulveda Dam. Sepulveda Dam.
On the bed.
Yes. The scene called Gleefully Bizarre opens with the only remaining reference to Hanoi Shan's storyline when it mentions a never-produced sequel called Buckaroo Banzai Against the World Crime League. And we will talk about that on the next episode as we keep going.
That last the credits was just, it spoke to me because it's
Chef's Kiss. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
No,
Yeah.
because why?
Big one. Or barking.
No,
What?
not the bargain.
No.
Why
I
did it
don't
speak to you?
understand. Yeah.
Because of where it was shot. It
Oh,
was just like the
oh.
end of Grease.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you were
that
going to
is
say
true.
because of Terminator 2.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry. Sorry. Terminator 2 overshadowed the fact that, Grease. But no,
The way they were just walking, like they were walking to each other after Danny won the race.
yeah, you're correct. Absolutely correct.
And it's a fantastic scene.
What, Grease, or are we talking about
Both.
No, there's nothing good about Grease.
watch your mouth now, sir?
They're so mean to me.
Please. Thank you.
Just kidding.
No, see
it's all about Grease too.
oh my heavens, yes. I'm still waiting. Oh, guys, we're going to do 5 episodes on Grease 2. It's going to be fantastic. Did you know that Cher was originally offered the role? Yeah.
I did
Tune
not know
in.
that. You
Yeah.
know, I would actually, if you decide to do Grease 2, I would actually give it another chance because it's been 20 years since I've seen it. I would bet you money that I still don't like it, but I would be willing to give it a chance and sit here and argue with you on why Grease is better than Grease 2. But just saying. Because I'm open.
I don't honestly like either, but I would do that too.
We'll discuss that when we get into Grease 2. But back to Buckaroo Banzai. Now, every single time that you mention Beagleman, how I envision him is basically Christopher Lloyd's character from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like that's
Doom.
how I envision it. It's like, fine. I have one more suggestion. You're going to have them marching into the LA River, and that's it.
Stupid.
His voice just keeps getting
Oh, yeah.
higher and higher.
Yes, like I can't. Sorry, guys. It dropped after 13, so I can't hit that high note. Anyways,
So the music. Let's talk about the music. Michael Boddicker was an accomplished synthesizer musician. Boddicker has worked with Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, the Bee Gees, Randy Newman, and even David Hasselhoff.
the Hoff. You should have let off with that. Like the other guy's like, meh. The Hoff. Oh man,
That's why I left it at last to make it to
Yes.
he's the headliner. He scored for movies and TV, including Saturday Night Fever, Battlestar Galactica, and The Wiz. I gotta take The Wiz pretty soon.
The Wiz, the Michael Jackson one?
Yeah.
He did work with Michael Jackson. The film's music coordinator and sound designer, Bones Howe. What a great name.
Again, back to
Back to fake names.
Is he Asian?
I don't know.
How is it spelled?
Howe?
Oh, no. No, he's white.
They began working with Michael
Bones.
Boddicker on the film's theme music and sound effects. Boddicker was Howe's first choice to write and perform the film's score. Boddicker had just won a Grammy for his song Imagination on the Flashdance soundtrack. In addition to composing the score, Boddicker also produced the alien sound effects, while Alan Howarth was hired to create the sounds of the eighth dimension.
So they were at the bottom of their budget, and they got this guy who's coming off of a Grammy
Yes.
to produce this.
Yes.
Like, that's some blackmail shit right there. Like, it's straight up, it's like, excuse me, we want you to produce something for this film. Okay, great. Well, yeah, here's my going rate. I think I'm probably going to do, I'm off a Grammy, so I'm thinking about maybe $500,000. $500,000, I think that's pretty sharp, yeah.
And then they showed him like the still images of, well, here's our costuming department. Here's the Versace.
Yeah,
and-
he's like, Versace, I'm in. Wait, he won a Grammy for a song called Imagination on
Yeah.
the Flashdance soundtrack. Okay, I've seen Flashdance probably 30 times, and I can name 2 Flashdance songs.
Exactly.
The most famous, and Imagination isn't one of them. That's
Yep.
very weird.
Don't worry.
There's an entire soundtrack.
No,
to
I know
movie.
that, but does that mean the other 2 that were really popular and got, lots of radio play didn't get a Grammy?
Maniac and What a Feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
exactly.
I'll have to look that song up.
Howe selected the source of music for the club scene and put together a special arrangement of Since I Don't Have You that Buckaroo sings to Penny. Weller, an accomplished musician, played the guitar and the pocket trumpet. He knew how to play that. He also did his own vocals, but he had to learn to mime piano playing. Howe and the filmmakers decided not to go with a rock music score for the film and opted for an electronic one instead. Howe wanted to integrate music with sound effects so that everything would merge on the soundtrack with no distinction between music and sound.
The club scene was funny. They weren't a very good band, but it was funny when when he starts singing the slow song and what's his name goes, "We do slow songs now," or like we do slow songs. Like that part was funny, but yeah, I mean, not the best band in the world, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, how many bands do you know have a pocket trumpet?
Yeah,
And I thought that was fake because it sounded like it was added on to the music.
yeah.
Dr. Banzai, will you please bless us with playing your pocket trumpet? Who wants to hear Dr. Banzai play his pocket trumpet? Please, play the pocket trumpet. Oh no, this is so unplanned. Hold on.
Aqualung!
Hey, Aqualung!
Oh my god.
Oh man, yeah, that scene was it was actually pretty cool. I love the lighting and everything, but that scene was really dark with Ellen Barkin about to shoot herself.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
I mean, here he is singing to her, and I'm like, okay, oh yeah, he's got this feelings for her. At that point, did we know she looked like? No, I didn't think so. So I was like, why is he so enthralled with her butch haircut and her crazy 80s earrings, and she's just crying, and then all of a sudden you see her like take this shaking gun out to her head, and I'm like, what is happening? It was very dark.
Yeah.
And then everybody took their guns out, their little pocket guns. There's little small. Oh, I had a problem with the guns.
The
too.
little pocket guns.
We can talk about that later. Too.
Well, they're talking about the scene was more interesting than the actual scene.
I know,
they're all quick draw artists. You know, they're all
I know.
gunslingers.
I'm not a fan of cowboy movies. Cowboy movies?
I am.
Yes.
You
Okay.
would think I would be like
Westerns.
Well, no, but yes, westerns. But I mean, first of all, everybody has a gun. Like everybody has a gun, not just the Cavaliers. Just the busboy had a gun. Like everybody has a gun, and they're not good guns. And I know this isn't like 1990 where everybody has a Glock, but they're these big guys
because
man.
they're cowboys. They got their six shooters and they got their derringers and they got their.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just thinking of the scene from Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice. Yeah, where like the grandmas have the guns and everyone.
That's what it reminded me of. Like
or
everybody
that scene in Last Action Hero at the funeral.
Oh yeah,
and all the mobsters take out their guns.
And he needs to pass gas one this time.
Jack, it's a funeral for a guy named Fart.
Like, okay, real quick, and then you can keep going. Like, if Ellen Barkin didn't have any money, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about you sell your gun? Well, how about you pawn your gun? You dum-dum?
Well, sometimes you just at the end of your rope and you have to do what you got to do.
You know what?
And you have to sell your gun.
You know, to quote the great philosopher M. Mathers, you got one shot, you got your chance to blow. The opportunity only lasts once in a lifetime, yo.
That was S. Shady.
Oh, I apologize. Shade. Thank you.
S. Shade.
I apologize.
Oh, that was M. Mathers.
Yeah, no, we're
And it's not Sade.
We're riffing.
Don't get her involved with this.
He was the real S. Shade.
Operator. Smooth operator.
Oh my god.
Coast to coast.
So that was the pre-production, production, and making of Buckaroo Banzai. It's quite a story, and
I'm exhausted.
Next episode we're gonna get into the actual movie itself.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So that's all I've got for this episode.
Okay.
So everybody have a fantastic holiday. And what do we have anything coming up? We have some stuff coming up, don't we?
I'm going to play a concert with my pocket sax.
Ooh, a pocket sax.
Yeah. Well,
I'll play some jazz flute.
So
I
short
have
answer.
things that are already completed, and I'm just waiting for them to be uploaded to our page. And I plan on doing another Say Anything with Allison about I haven't seen a lot of movies this year. However, because my focus has been more on TV. TV has been really good this year, but we're not a TV podcast. But I will do a Say Anything on my favorite movie of the year.
I think I might do an audio on...
Do I know what that... Oh, I do know what that is.
Yes. It's The Menu.
Yeah, that was a fantastic movie.
Listen here, Roman. You have seen a lot of movies lately, and you keep telling us what's good and what's not good, and I keep telling you to do a review, and you're not. So you don't get to say anything.
Only Allison gets to say anything.
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay, this is me giving her a fist bump, everyone who can't see it. There you go. It just happened. You're welcome. Okay, sorry.
That was like manna from heaven right there.
Wow, the fact, manna. Oh, geez. We're really busting them out right here. Just go wear some Anamani jackets and some Versace.
You know what manna means, right? In Hebrew?
Yeah. The essence.
Bread.
No.
Fish.
No.
It's actually a misnomer. Yeah, go ahead.
It's a miss who?
Manna is a Hebrew word, and it literally translates to what is it?
Yeah.
Then why do they always talk about manna? And
Because it came out of nowhere. So they're like, manna.
What is it?
I don't know why I had to say it in like a Jackie Mason. What is it?
Okay.
You can't have
Roman, you have stuff that you haven't done yet.
Yeah, see, what's going on is Roman had a professional success. He got a promotion.
Roman's leaving us, ladies and gentlemen.
Am I?
No.
Okay, this is going to be my last show, seriously? Son of a bitch. Damn!
You won't even appear on episode 2.
No kidding! Well, that would be very Banzai, Buckaroo Banzai. Just not explain what's going on. Just,
we'll have Beagleman on next. Bagelman, whatever his name is.
Bagelman.
I had a problem with this! this! Anyways, no, but yeah, I got you know what? I'm basically like the writer where I've written 1,000 things and haven't completed any of them. Yeah. But more about that in the next episode. What do you think?
Yeah. I have a Real Stories coming out. It's connected to Roman's thing.
Yeah, that will never come out.
So mine will come out.
And won't be connected to anything.
It won't be. It'll just be connected to my life.
Exactly.
Well, seeing that we both have, why don't we actually do an episode on that? I was thinking about that as we're driving.
I would love to. It's one of my absolute favorite movies. Of all time.
All right. Let's make a podcast.
Do it. Why don't you just do that episode?
You know what?
Go see that movie.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Aw, rest in peace, Kirstie Alley.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whenever there's a chance to quote, "Look Who's Talking," you do it.
I do it.
Yeah.
You really do.
I do it.
Yeah.
It's one
you
of
see
my
this
favorite
head of
movies.
lettuce? Yeah. You just take a couple peels. Boom. It's good. Huh? Yeah.
You got it.
High five.
Could be peaches, could be lunch meat. Who knows?
Oh boy.
Okay. Well, on that note,
boy. So
thanks for joining us for this first episode and a deep dive of
Yeehaw.
the adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension.
All right.
Buckaroo
And
Banzai.
join us next episode when we go into the movie and have a discussion about the movie itself. And
Allison brings her pocket gun to kill herself.
Pocket
if it gets
gun.
too much.
But everybody has pocket guns.
And we will constantly have to tell Rowan to put away his pocket trumpet.
So dirty. But seriously, Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy
Chanukah.
yeah.
Yes. And
Ramadan.
remember to always celebrate cinema.
Buckaroo Banzai was a very happy doctor.